The State Department has lifted a shelter-in-place alert for Americans in Mexico, saying the situation has returned to normal. Violence erupted over the weekend after the Mexican army killed the leader of the country's most powerful drug cartel. The cartel responding by setting buildings and cars on fire. And with spring break in a few weeks, some have already booked their vacations to popular hotspots in Mexico. So what should we be aware of? Emily Payne with Lux Rally Travel is here with some advice. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So what is the level of advisory right now?
So some parts of Mexico are at a level 2 advisory and some parts of Mexico are at a level 3 advisory.
And what does that mean?
Just export caution while traveling.
Versus a 4 would be do not travel to that region,
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so as we were saying, you know, the shelter in place, that has been lifted. Things are back to normal. However, you know, some people may be feeling a little skittish, right? They've booked plans there. What is your advice to them?
My advice is to just proceed with caution, to check your flights availability, to check your hotel, just to make sure your reservations are still in place. If you have vetted transportation getting you to or from where you need to be.
Right. So not downright cancel your trip, because we know that a lot of people still want to travel to very popular destinations. You know, a lot of Arizonans we know go to Rocky Point, to Cancun, to even Puerto Vallarta, Cabo, all of those. So what would you say?
Well, Mexico is very large. So exporting what is typically happening in one city doesn't necessarily affect what's happening in another city. So think of, you know, you have an issue in LA or riots in LA, it doesn't necessarily affect what's happening in New York.
Okay, so for instance, Rocky Point being right near the border, obviously, a lot of Arizonans, they go there. That would seem safer, obviously, than going into Puerto Vallarta.
I can't advise necessarily what they should or shouldn't do, but it's whatever your comfortability is.
Okay, so for those who have booked their travel, they still want to go, what should they be mindful of?
They should be mindful of their flight delays. There is a good chance that flights are canceled, flights are delayed. They need to check on their reservations, typically within that 24 hours of traveling. And this is a good opportunity to check on your travel insurance to make sure everything is happening the way it kind of needs to happen.
Yeah, and usually when you book, you know, you'll see, do you want travel insurance? A lot of people say no, but maybe
this shows the value of that insurance. Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, we know that people have gotten stranded and stuck in light of what happened this past weekend in Puerto Vallarta. So if that happens really in any region, regardless of Puerto Vallarta, whether there's a snowstorm in the Northeast or what have you, what should travelers do?
If you are in a location and you are stuck, whether you're in the airport or in the middle of traveling, you can always check on your travel app, your airline app. You can go to the kiosk desk and they can help redirect your flight or get you to your next destination.
And with last minute accommodations, what about that?
I always say check where you were staying, your reservation prior, see if they can extend your reservation or proximity, wherever you're around. And this is also another value of where you can reach out to your travel agent.
Okay, bottom line for those who still plan to travel to Mexico, what should they know?
They should proceed with caution, absolutely. But it's all comfortability, whatever they're comfortable with. But yeah.
Okay, Emily, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you
insight.
for having
We appreciate
me.
it. Thank you.